G'day YouTubers, I will review last week's round of the 2024 AFL season. Before I start, it will be appreciated if you can subscribe to my channel. Please help me get to 1,000 subscribers. The first game of the week is between Melbourne and the Brisbane Lions at the MCG on Thursday, 11th of April, for which 43,098 people attended the match. The final score were Melbourne 8 goals 12-60 to Brisbane 12 goals 10-82. The Lions won by 22 points. The goal kickers for the Demons were 2 goals to Fridge and singles to Brown, Van Rooyen, Neil Bullen, Lever, Gorn and Chandler. For the Lions, Cameron kicked 3 goals and 2 goals to McCluggage, Danaher and Hitwood and singles to Lohman, Fletcher and Bailey. The best players for the Demons were Rivers, Gorn and Chandler, and the best players for the Lions were Rayner, Andrews, McCluggage, Dunkley and Neil. Melbourne suffered injury with Salem doing his hamstring. The Lions jumped off to a good start by kicking 4 goals to 2 at quarter time to take a 14-point lead. In the second quarter, they continued this by kicking 3 goals to 0 and leaving the Demons goalless to take a 30-point lead at half-time. The Lions continued their splits by kicking 3 goals to 1 to take a 49-point lead at three-quarter time. In the final quarter, the Lions took their foot off the pedal and conceded the last 3 goals of the game to win by only 22 points. For the Demons, Winey had 23 disposals, followed by Gorn and Petrarca with 23 and 20 disposals respectively. For the Lions, Dunkley had 30 disposals, followed by Zorko and Rayner with 29 and 25 disposals respectively. For the stats, Brisbane won possessions by 63. They had 8 more inside 50 and their efficient inside 50 was even to the Demons. The Lions were minus 31 in hitouts, which Gorn dominated. The Lions were plus 19 in clearances. They had 3 more turnovers and plus 41 in marks. The Lions led for 98% of the match. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow votes are 3 votes to Jay Dunkley, Brisbane, who had 30 disposals, 9 marks, 4 tackles, 3 clearances, 371 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. 2 votes to H. McCluggage of Brisbane, who had 2 goals, 23 disposals, 5 marks, 3 tackles, 6 clearances, and 317 metres gained. 1 vote to D. Zorko, Brisbane, who had 29 disposals, 6 marks, 5 tackles, 2 clearances, and 507 metres gained. The next game is between the Western Bulldogs and Essendon at Marvel Stadium on a Friday night, for which 50,144 people attended the match. The final score were Western Bulldogs 9 goals 13-67 to Essendon 15 goals 6-96. The Bombers won by 29 points. The goal kickers for the Bulldogs were 3 goals to Ugle-Hagan, 2 goals to Norton and West, and singles to Vandermeer and Darcy. For the Bombers, Langford kicked 3 goals, 2 goals to Stringer, Dersma and Jones, and singles to Goldstein, Caldwell, Durham, Martin, Davey and Gresham. The best players for the Bulldogs were Treloar, Libba, Ugle-Hagan and Richards. For the Bombers, their best players were Durham, Caldwell, Merritt, Dersma and Langford. In the first quarter, the game was close, with the quarter being even with Essendon kicking 5 goals to 4 at quarter time to take a 4-point lead. In the second quarter, they won this quarter by kicking 3 goals to 2 to take an 8-point lead at half time. The Bombers continued this by kicking 2 goals to 1 to take a 14-point lead at three-quarter time. In the final quarter, the Bombers won this quarter by kicking 5 goals to 2 to win by 29 points. The Bombers won all 4 quarters. For the Bulldogs, Treloar had 28 disposals, followed by McRae and Liberatore, with both getting 25 disposals each. For the Bombers, Merritt had 27 disposals, followed by Martin and McGrath, with 25 and 23 disposals respectively. For the stats, Essendon lost possessions by 3, they had 1 less inside 50 and were more efficient inside 50, with their efficiency inside 50 5% more than the Bulldogs. The Bombers had plus 12 in hitouts. This could be attributed to Goldstein and Draper. The Bombers were plus 6 in clearances, plus 3 in turnovers, and plus 17 in marks. And also, they led for 75% of the match. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow are Zed Merritt, Essendon, 3 votes. He had 27 disposals, 6 marks, 4 tackles, 1 clearances, and 462 metres gained. 2 votes to and Martin of Essendon, who had 1 goal, 25 disposals, 4 marks, 3 clearances, and 579 metres gained. And 1 vote to A. Chalor of Western Bulldogs, who had 28 disposals, 2 marks, 8 tackles, 4 clearances, 412 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. The next game is between GWS and St Kilda at Canberra, for which 12,448 people attended the match. The final score was GWS Giants 11 goals 14-80 to St Kilda 12 goals 7-79. The Giants won by 1 point. The goal kickers for the Giants were 2 goals to Hogan and Green, and singles to Thomas, Cadman, Coniglio, Daniels, Riccardi, Kelly, and Toby Green. For the Saints, Canamedes, Higgins, Membry, and Owens all kicked 2 goals, and singles to Hill, Wilson, Steele, and Sinclair. The best players for the Giants were Toby Green, Bedford, Whitfield, and Tom Green. For the Saints, their best players were Wilkie, Hill, Marshall, Steele, and Owens. For the match, there were a number of injuries. Taylor suffered concussion, Coniglio suffered a knee injury, Kelly suffered ribs injury, and Briggs suffered a shoulder injury. So these were the GWS players. And for the Saints, King had suffered a knee injury. The Giants jumped off to a good start by kicking 4 goals to 1, and at quarter time they took a 19-point lead. In the second quarter, both teams kicked 3 goals apiece, with the Giants leading by 19 points at half time. In the third quarter, the Giants won this quarter by kicking 3 goals to 2 to take a 29-point lead at 3-quarter time. In the final quarter, the Giants kicked the first goal, then the Saints kicked the last 6 goals to lose by just 1 point. However, this run was too late. For the Giants, Whitfield had 34 disposals, followed by Ash and Tom Green with 26 and 24 disposals respectively. For the Saints, Hill had 33 disposals, followed by Steele and Marshall with 29 and 28 disposals respectively. For the stats, GWS won possessions by 27. They had 4 less inside 50 and were more efficient inside 50, with their efficiency inside 50 12% more than the Saints. The Giants had plus 3 in hitouts, but were minus 12 in clearances, plus 16 in turnovers, and minus 12 in marks. The Giants led for 100% of the match. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow votes are 3 votes to B. Hill of St Kilda, who had 33 disposals, 13 marks, 3 tackles, 3 clearances, and 2 goal assists. 2 votes to J. Steele, who had 1 goal, 29 disposals, 6 marks, 6 tackles, 5 clearances, 520 metres gained. And 1 vote to L. Whitfield of GWS, who had 34 disposal, 9 marks, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, and 565 metres gained. The next game is between Carlton and Adelaide at Marble Stadium, for which 46,283 people attended the match. The final score was Carlton 14 goals 14-98 to Adelaide 16 goals 100. Carlton with so many behinds. Adelaide won by 2 points. The goal kickers for the Blues were 4 goals to Kono, 2 goals to McKay, and singles to Akers, Cottrell, Cripps, Hittner, Always, Elijah Hollands, Fantasy, and Durden. For the Crows, Walker kicked 4 goals, 3 goals to Keys and Rankin, 2 goals to Rochelle, and singles to Berry, Gallant, Dawson, and Cook. The best players for the Blues were Cripps, Walsh, Kono, and McKay, and the best players for the Crows were Rochelle, Rankin, Solidigo, Walker, and Keys. There were injuries for this game, and both the Carlton players, Sada and McGovern, both suffered hamstring injuries. The game was close to even, with Carlton kicking 5 goals to 4 at quarter time to take a 7-point lead. In the second quarter, both teams kicked 3 goals apiece, with the Blues leading by 6 points at half time. The Crows won the third quarter by kicking 5 goals to 3 to tie the score at 3-quarter time. In the final quarter, the Crows won the quarter by kicking 4 goals to 3 to win by 2 points. However, the Crows kicked the last 3 goals of the game and stole it. The Blues had more scoring shots by 28-20, and they say poor kicking is poor footy. The Blues should have won this game, but they had so many poor goal kicking. For the Blues, Walsh had 34 disposals, followed by Akers and Williams with 25 and 23 disposals respectively. For the Crows, Solidigo had 27 disposals, followed by Crouch and Hinge with 27 and 26 disposals respectively. For the stats, LA won possessions by 8, they had 3 less inside 50 and were more efficient inside 50, with their efficiency inside 50 1% more than the Blues. The Crows had +8 in hit-outs, -7 in clearances, +3 in turnovers, and -11 in marks, and only led for 30% of the match. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow votes are 3 votes to I. Rankin Adelaide, who had 3 goals, 23 disposals, 6 marks, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, and 453 metres gained. Oh yeah, also plus 1 goal assist. 2 votes to S. Walsh of Carlton, who had 34 disposals, 2 marks, 13 tackles, 8 clearances, and 611 metres gained. And 1 vote to J. Solidigo of Adelaide, who had 27 disposals, 1 mark, 3 tackles, 4 clearances, and 263 metres gained. The next game is between Gold Coast and Hawthorn in Gold Coast. The final score were Gold Coast 16 goals 13, 109 to Hawthorn 8 goals 8, 56. Gold Coast won by 53 points. The goal kickers for Gold Coast were 4 goals to King, 3 goals to Swallow, 2 goals to Walter, Reid and Closley, and singles to Anderson, Roses Jr. and Rao. For the Hawks, McInnes kicked 3 goals and singles to Chow, Ginnivan, Hardwick, McDonald and Moore. The best players for Gold Coast were Miller, Andrews, Anderson, Rao, King and Ainsworth. For the Hawks, their best players were Amon, McInnes and Impey. Gold Coast suffered an injury to Roses Jr., who had a hamstring injury. Gold Coast won this game easily, the Suns kicking 4 goals to 1 at quarter time to take an 18-point lead. In the second quarter, both sides scored 2 goals apiece, with the Suns leading by 22 points at half time. The Suns dominated the third quarter by kicking 5 goals to 2 to take a 40-point lead at 3-quarter time, with the game effectively being over. In the final quarter, the Suns won the quarter by kicking 5 goals to 3 to win easily by 53 points. The Suns won all 4 quarters and led for 100% of the game. For the Suns, Anderson had 36 disposals, followed by Flanders and Miller with 34 and 28 disposals respectively. For the Hawks, Amon had 26 disposals, followed by Sicily and D'Ambrosio with 19 and 18 disposals respectively. For the stats, Gold Coast won possessions by 96. They had 20 more inside 50 and were more efficient inside 50, with their efficiency inside 50 2% more than the Hawks. The Suns had +9 in hit-outs, +10 in clearances, -5 in turnovers, which is a good stat to be negative, and +46 in marks, and they led 100% of the match. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow votes are 3 votes to N. Anderson, Gold Coast, who had 1 goal, 36 disposals, 8 marks, 8 tackles, 6 clearances, and 604 metres gained. 2 votes to B. King, Gold Coast, who had 4 goals, 4, 10 disposals, 5 marks, and 288 metres gained. And 1 vote to S. Flander of Gold Coast, who had 34 disposals, 9 marks, 1 tackle, 625 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. The next game is between Port Adelaide and Fremantle at Adelaide Oval on a Saturday night. The final score was Port Adelaide 9 goals 12, 66 to Fremantle 9 goals 9, 63. The Power won by 3 points. The goal kickers for Port Adelaide were 2 goals to Georgiades and Dixon, and singles to Bergman, Horne-Francis, Butters, Marshall, and Rioli. For Fremantle, Tracy kicked 3 goals, 2 goals to Amos and singles to Taberner, Banfield, Brayshaw and Emmett. The best players for the Power were Zert Thatcher, Farrell, Rosie, Houston and Butters. For Fremantle, their best players were Clark, Sarong, Pearce, Ryan and Young. Hoylett suffered an injury with Zert Thatcher doing his right shoulder. The game was close, with Port kicking 3 goals to 2 at quarter time to take a 7-point lead. In the second quarter, they lost this quarter by kicking 1 goal to 3, with Fremantle taking a 6-point lead at half-time. Both teams kicked 2 goals apiece, with Fremantle leading by 4 points at 3/4 time. In the final quarter, the Power won the quarter by kicking 3 goals to 2 to win by 3 points. However, the game was close all night, and Port kicked the last 2 goals of the game, come from behind and win. For the Power, Houston had 27 disposals, followed by Wines and Rosie with 26 disposals respectively. For the Dockers, Sarong had 29 disposals, followed by Young and Ryan, 27 and 24 disposals respectively. For the stats, the Power won possession by 2. They had 10 more inside 50 and were more efficient inside 50, with their efficiency inside 50 1% more than Fremantle. The Power had plus 42 in headers, minus 9 in clearances, minus 7 in turnovers. Most teams that are negative in turnovers usually win the game. And Port were plus 27 in marks, and they had only led for 25% of the match. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow are 3 votes to C. Sarong. Fremantle, who had 29 disposals, 2 marks, 4 tackles, 8 clearances, 511 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. 2 votes to D. Houston of Port Adelaide, who had 27 disposals, 6 marks, 4 tackles, 740 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. And 1 vote to J. Tracy of Fremantle, who had 3 goals, 16 disposals, 9 marks, 4 tackles, 4 hit-outs, 1 clearances, 440 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. The next game is between Geelong and North Melbourne at Geelong, at which 31,194 people attended the game. The final score were Geelong 21 goals 13, 139 to North Melbourne 10 goals 4, 64. Geelong won by 75 points. The goal kickers for Geelong were 6 goals to Cameron, 4 goals to Close, 3 goals to Neil, and 2 goals to Stengel and Holmes, and singles to O'Connor, Henry, Blickhouse, and Dempsey. For the Kangaroos, forward kicked 3 goals, 2 goals to Larky and Drury, and singles to Curtis, David Giniaki, and Sheasel. The best players for the Cats were Stewart, Cameron, Holmes, Meyer, and Stengels. The best players for the Kangaroos were Sheasel, David Giniaki, Scott, and Ford. North Melbourne suffered an injury to McCurker, who had rib injuries. This game was no contest at the start, with Geelong kicking 5 goals to 3 at quarter time to take a 13-point lead. In the second quarter, they won this quarter by kicking 7 goals to 1, completely smashed the Kangaroos to take a 50-point lead at half time. The Cats continued this by kicking 3 goals to 2 to take a 60-point lead at 3/4 time. In the final quarter, the Cats won the quarter by kicking 6 goals to 4 to win by 75 points. The Cats won all 4 quarters. For the Cats, Holmes had 25 disposals, followed by Stewart and Myers with 24 and 23 disposals respectively. For the Kangaroos, Sheasel had 38 disposals, followed by Scott and David Giniaki with 27 disposals each. Based on the stats, Geelong lost possession by 36. They had 16 more inside 50 and were more efficient inside 50, with their efficiency inside 50 24% more than the Kangaroos. The Cats had minus 13 in hit-outs, plus 7 in clearances, minus 20 in turnovers. Usually, if you win the turnover stats, the team usually wins the game. This was a lopsided stat. Average Geelong was minus 20. The Cats were minus 41 in marks, and also they led for 100% of the match. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow points are 3 to J. Cameron, Geelong, who had 6 goals, 21 disposals, 8 marks, 1 tackle, 444 metres gained, and 3 goal assists. 2 votes to M. Holmes, Geelong, who had 2 goals, 25 disposals, 5 marks, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, and 616 metres gained. And 1 vote to B. Close of Geelong, who had 4 goals, 13 disposals, 4 marks, 3 tackles, 2 clearances, 211 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. The next game is between West Coast and Richmond at Perth, at which 47,665 people attended the game. The final score was West Coast 16 goals 13, 109 to Richmond 10 goals 10, 70. West Coast won by 39 points. The goal kickers for the Eagles were 6 goals to Waterman, 2 goals to Cripps, Petrelli and Yo, and singles to Jay Williams, Reid, Chesser and Darling. For the Tigers, Bolton and LaFou both kicked 3 goals, and singles to Baker, Martin, M. Rioli and Sonsi. The best players for the Eagles were Darden, Yo, Waterman, Kelly and Reid. For the Tigers, their best players were Alston, Miller, Bolton and Baker. There were a number of injuries for this game. For West Coast, Edwards suffered concussion, and for Richmond, Short had suffered a calf injury. West Coast lost the first quarter by kicking 3 goals to 4 at quarter time to trail by 8 points. They exploded in the second quarter by kicking 8 goals to 3 to take a 90-point lead at half-time. The Eagles continued this by kicking 4 goals to 1 to take a 42-point lead at 3/4 time, effectively the game being over. In the final quarter, the Eagles lost the quarter by kicking 1 goal to 2 to win by 39 points. For the Eagles, Kelly had 29 disposals, followed by Yo and Reid, who both had 27 disposals each. For the Tigers, Baker had 25 disposals, followed by Wolsey and Bolton with 24 and 21 disposals, respectively. Based on the stats, West Coast won possessions by 28. They had 21 more inside 50 and were less efficient inside 50, with their efficiency inside 50 5% less than Richmond. The Eagles had minus 20 in hit-outs, plus 23 in clearances, even in turnovers, and minus 16 in marks. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow are 3 votes to T. Kelly, West Coast, who had 29 disposals, 4 marks, 6 tackles, 8 clearances, 553 metres gained, and 2 goal assists. 2 votes to E. Yo of West Coast, who had 2 goals, 27 disposals, 2 marks, 3 tackles, 15 clearances, 363 metres gained, and 2 goal assists. 1 vote to H. Reid of West Coast, who had 1 goal, 27 disposals, 3 marks, 1 tackle, 7 clearances, 531 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. My summary for the Brownlow votes after round 5 are: in top spot with 11 votes are Heaney of Sydney. In second spot are 10 votes for C. Rosie of Port Adelaide and C. Sarong of Fremantle. And in third spot with 8 votes are Tom Green of GWS and C. Petraka of Melbourne. That's the end, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button and comment on my channel. Every subscriber will be appreciated.